Hello, and welcome to English Podcast with Missy. Here we learn English for real life. Clear, slow, and simple. Let's learn English together. Are you ready? Let's begin. Hey there, lovely people. It's Missy, and I'm so happy you're here with me again. Whether you're listening while cooking, walking, or just taking a moment for yourself, thank you for spending a little time with me. Today, I want to share something close to my heart. Not a big trip, not a fancy vacation, just a quiet, happy day at the local market. It may sound simple, but sometimes it's the simple days that stay in our memory the longest. So come with me for a little walk. Let's explore the market together. Let's enjoy the sights, sounds, and small surprises along the way. It started like any other Saturday. I woke up a little after 8, which for me is sleeping in. The sun was peeking through the curtains, and I could already hear the birds outside, chirping like they had important news to share. I got up slowly, stretched, and thought to myself, today feels like a market day. You know that feeling? When you don't want to stay in, but you also don't want anything stressful? Just something peaceful and a little fun? I made a quick breakfast, just toast and tea, and packed my tote bag. Reusable bags? Check. Wallet? Check. Comfortable shoes? Double check. Let's go. The walk to the market took about 15 minutes. It's one of my favorite parts of the day. The streets were quiet at first. A couple of cyclists passed by, and I saw a woman walking her dog, both of them in matching green raincoats. Yes, the dog too. As I got closer to the market, I started hearing little bits of life. Music playing, someone laughing, the soft murmur of voices mixing together. It's like walking toward a warm hug. And then I saw it. The market. Colorful stalls, rows of umbrellas, people everywhere, but not in a crowded, stressful way. More like everyone was just doing their own thing. Kids were licking ice cream cones way too fast. Old couples strolled hand in hand, moving slowly like they had all the time in the world. There was even a man balancing a watermelon on one shoulder, like it was the easiest thing in the world. It smelled amazing. Fresh herbs, toasted bread, ripe fruit, a little spice in the air. It was like walking into a story made of colors and scents. I smiled. Yep, I thought. I'm exactly where I need to be. The first stall I stopped at was full of fruit. Piles of strawberries, mangoes, pineapples, and grapes. Try one, the vendor said, offering me a slice of mango. It was perfect. Soft, juicy, and sweet enough to make me close my eyes for a second. We talked a bit. Just simple things. He told me the fruit was picked early that morning. He pointed to a few pineapples and said, "Those are the good ones. Look at the bottom. If they smell sweet, they're ready." I never knew that. That little tip made me feel like a fruit expert already. I bought 2 mangoes and a small bag of lychees. I walked away, already peeling one open, the juice dripping down my fingers. Further down, I found a stall that looked more like a little art display. Handmade soaps, candles, and tiny jars of body scrub. A woman behind the table waved at me. "Come smell this one," she said, holding up a lavender bar. It smelled like bedtime in a flower garden. We got to talking. Turns out she makes everything at home with her teenage daughter. "It's our weekend thing," she said. "We laugh, make a mess, and sometimes end up with something beautiful." I bought 2 bars of soap, lavender and honey oat, and thanked her. Now here's something I didn't expect. A tiny secondhand bookstall squeezed between 2 larger stalls. Boxes and boxes of old paperbacks, their covers soft from years of reading. I started flipping through titles, and then stopped. There it was. A book I read in middle school, The Secret Garden. I held it like it was a long-lost friend. Isn't it funny how books can take you back instantly? I bought it without a second thought. After all that walking, I was getting hungry. I followed my nose and ended up at a little food corner. Steam was rising from bamboo baskets. Dumplings. The lady behind the counter smiled. Pork and chive? Or veggie with glass noodles? I picked the veggie and she handed me a small box with chopsticks and a packet of soy sauce. I found a bench nearby, sat down, and just enjoyed. They were hot, soft, and full of flavor. I watched people pass by while I ate. A dad chasing after his twin boys. A teen trying to take the perfect selfie with her iced coffee. 2 women laughing so hard they had to hold on to each other. It was all just real life in the best way. Before heading home, I thought I was done shopping. Really, I did. My bag was already a little heavy with everything I'd picked up. The juicy mangoes, the handmade soaps, my little book treasure. I had that, okay, time to go home feeling. But then, right at the edge of the market, I saw a small table tucked under a tree. It was quiet there, almost hidden. There were no big signs, no loud voices, just rows of tiny potted plants, each sitting neatly in recycled jars, mugs, or old teacups. I smiled and said, "I think I just found my new roommate." I bought one last thing, a tiny potted plant. A little green leafy guy with shiny leaves and a tag that said, "Low maintenance," just like a good friend. How could I say no? As I finally left the market, the afternoon had softened. The sun had started its slow journey down, casting that perfect golden glow across the rooftops and trees. You know that time of day when everything feels like it's glowing just a little? Like the whole world is saying, "Good job today. You did enough." It felt gentle, like the sky was tucking the day in for a nap. The streets were quieter now. The rush of the morning had passed, and people were heading home, bags in hand, smiles on their faces. I walked slowly. No rush, no destination except home. My bag was full. Fruits, soaps, a book, a plant. But honestly, my heart felt even fuller. I had everything I needed, and a little more. When I finally reached my apartment, I pushed the door open and was met with that soft, familiar quiet. I kicked off my shoes, set my tote bag on the counter, and let out a deep sigh. Tired feet, happy heart. I unpacked everything slowly. The sweet mangoes, the soft soaps, the little book, and of course, my tiny green plant. I gave it a bit of water and placed it by the window. It looked perfect there, like it had been waiting for that exact spot. As the sky turned from gold to soft lavender, I made myself a cup of chamomile tea. I turned on some music, something calm and low, and curled up on the couch. I opened the book I'd found and started reading. The room smelled like fruit and flowers, and soft music played in the background. No phone, no plans, just quiet. It felt good to slow down, to sit with myself, to enjoy the little things. Later, I lit a small candle, lavender, just like the soap. I got into my pajamas, washed my face, and climbed into bed. With that light, content feeling you only get after a really good day. Outside my window, the city was quiet now. A breeze passed through the curtains. And there on my windowsill, my little green plant sat peacefully, its shiny leaves catching the moonlight. I smiled, pulled the blanket up, and thought, that was a good day. And just like that, I drifted off to sleep. So that was my day at the market. Nothing big, nothing wild. But it reminded me that happiness doesn't always come from big events. Joy doesn't always need a plan. It doesn't need to be loud or exciting or perfect. Sometimes it's found in the softest places. A warm slice of mango, a stranger's smile, a plant by the window, quietly growing. These little things, they have a way of filling us up when we slow down enough to notice them. So maybe the next time life feels too fast or too busy, you can give yourself permission to pause, to go for a walk, to visit the market, to breathe. Because sometimes the smallest days leave the biggest peace. And maybe, just maybe, a quiet Saturday at the market is exactly what your heart needs. Thanks for spending this little journey with me today. I hope your day is filled with tiny joys and big smiles. And maybe I'll see you at the market someday. Until next time, I'm Missy. Take care of yourself. See you soon.